Hello YouTube, it is Latte Punch, sorry. Um, again for another Let's Read. This is a fanfic called from somebody named Mr. Bratkovics on FIM Fanfiction. I'll send the link in the description to this fic. It's called Fluttershy's Foal. It's a sad slice of life fic. When Fluttershy is reminded of her foal Scootaloo, then she seeks out get support from Big Macintosh and tell the sad truth to the little filly. I'm not making header-only news stories. Okay, let's start at chapter 1. Authors, I'm gonna read the note real fast. I will create more chapters in the future, only if it is in great demand. Okay, chapter 1, Breakfast. Today was an excellent, clear, peaceful day in Ponyville. The birds were chirping, the morning dew was still visible, and every pony was starting to wake up and open their stores and stands for the day. Except Fluttershy. She was in her home just starting to wake up from the terrible dreams she had been having for the past few days now. As she woke up and stumbled to her kitchen, she started to make some breakfast and coffee. After she had woke up her pet bunny Angel, she was eating at her table still half asleep. As she was eating a muffin that Derby made for her the previous morning as a gift, she looked up at her mantel where she had at the pictures of her and her friends. She smiled as she remembered all the fun times she had before her other friend Twilight Sparkle had come to Ponyville. But one of the pictures was funny looking to her. It was slanted, and during the quick 10 seconds it started to annoy her. So she walked over to the mantel and readjusted the picture, and hidden inside was a picture of Big Macintosh. There were a dozen smaller photos of Scootaloo. She looked at them, and they were pictures of her when she was an even smaller foal than she is now. And that was many moons ago. Then it hit her. The bad dream and pictures and the years of trying to forget the saddest day of her life. She started to cry. Her tears started to stain the paper. Now the memories were coming back to her. Mini chapter 2. Fluttershy was a nervous wreck, and she was extremely sad. Even her most favorite pet Angel couldn't help her keep her owner together. The sad truth was that Fluttershy had a full year ago, Scootaloo. She had put her up for adoption because she knew she was too young to raise a filly. Even her friends had said the same. So many months had gone by after Fluttershy gave birth to Scootaloo, and she was put up for adoption. That was the saddest part of Fluttershy's life. She regretted it so many ways. But then, after some time, she realized that it would be the best for her little filly. So then she decided to try to forget the whole thing. But it started back up after she had been invited by Scootaloo to her birthday party. Made by Fluttershy's good friend Piggy Pie, of course. Fluttershy bought the best present that there was for Scootaloo and never put her name on it. But it was after the parties which then Fluttershy began to have nightmares of Scootaloo and her adopted parents abusing her. After crying for how many hours, Fluttershy had an idea. She was to consult the father, Big Macintosh, and talk to him about what should they do with Scootaloo. Tell her or ask about investigating her current adopted parents, and she needed his support. It was in the afternoon, and Fluttershy was walking to Sweetapple Acres. She was a bit nervous talking about this type of thing, but she knew that it would help her in knowing what to do in this situation. As Fluttershy arrived, she walked over to the house and let her basket with Angel down in the grass to play as she knocked the door. Knock, knock. And after 10 seconds, Applejack opened the door. Howdy there, Applejack said. What brings you down to Sweet Apple Acres today? Applejack, said the sad Fluttershy, I really like to talk to Big Macintosh, Snip, for a minute, if that's okay. Sure, but Sugar Cube, are you okay? Applejack noticed the dry tears under Fluttershy's eyes. Yes, I just really need to talk to with him, please. Okay, then, said Applejack. Applejack had a suspicious look on her face. She shrugged it off and closed the door and yelled for her brother to come. About 1 minute later, Big Macintosh came through the door and shut it behind him. Yep, he said, referring to what's up. Fluttershy sat down and so did Big Mac. Well, Big Mac, I need to ask you something. Yep, said Big Macintosh. It's about Scootaloo. I want to ask for your permission if we could maybe tell her about the adoption. Because I think that she is old enough and she should know what happened to her after so many years, said the sad Fluttershy. Well, are you sure, Fluttershy? Said Big Macintosh. Fluttershy nodded, yes. Well, okay, said Big Macintosh. Chapter 3. Big Mac and Fluttershy both knew where Scootaloo would be because she and her friends Apple Bloom and Sweetbelle were always in their clubhouse trying to find out what their special talent is. Cutie Mark Crusaders clubhouse. So they headed off. When Big Mac and Fluttershy arrived, they both knocked on the door. A small orange filly Scootaloo answered the door. Why, hey there, Fluttershy, and Big Macintosh. How may I help you? There was a moment of silence. Well, said Fluttershy, she was a bit nervous. Scootaloo, me and Big Mac wanted to talk to you. Could you come outside for a second, if you're not busy? Sure thing, said the small, curious orange Pegasus. Scootaloo climbed down, and they talked. After hearing it all, Scootaloo was crying more than Fluttershy did in the early morning, for she was very sad, but at the same time she was happy. But then she admitted that her adopted mom had died 2 months ago, and that she secretly lived in the clubhouse and was afraid to tell anybody about it. After that, Fluttershy had a discussion with Big Mac about where Scootaloo would live, and all the paperwork that would be needed to be finished in order to keep Scootaloo with them, so she could be safe and no pony else would need to take her again. So they settled that Scootaloo would live in Sweet Apple Acres with Big Macintosh until Fluttershy could finish the adoption. After the long wait had gone and all had went good for Fluttershy, she thought it would be a good idea to make a big party for Scootaloo to celebrate the most wonderful thing ever to happen to the little filly. So Fluttershy went to Sugar Cube Corner to get Pinkie Pie because everyone knew she was the best at making parties. When Fluttershy arrived, she'd seen her good friend Applejack and Pinkie Pie sitting there making cupcakes for another little filly's birthday. Sorry. Howdy there, Fluttershy, said Applejack. She'd seen her shy friend walk in. Hi there, said Pinkie Pie. She grinned happily. Well, Pinkie, said Fluttershy, I would like to have a party for Scootaloo because I just adopted her, if that's okay with you. Yes, it's more than okay with me. I would really love to do this. Would be the best exciting party ever. We can have games and lots of people and cake, lots of it, and. Pinkie Pie was interrupted by Applejack. Fluttershy, said Applejack, I think Pinkie is really happy about Scootaloo, and we're both glad for you. So Pinkie Pie made a big cake and about countless amounts of party-related games and treats and lots of cupcakes, and got ready the best party ever for her. It was good to help on Friday. It was going to be a help on Friday at Sweet Apple Acres. The best The party was 10 minutes away, and no pony had told Scootaloo about the party. Fluttershy had raced to the Cutie Mark Crusader's clubhouse to get her daughter. 5 minutes later, Fluttershy raced with Scootaloo back to the barn. Scootaloo did not know what was happening, so she went in it only knowing that Fluttershy had said she had to go to Sugarcube Corner to buy her a treat for her. They arrived at Applejack's farm, and Fluttershy had blindfolded Scootaloo before arriving there. But when she was unblindfolded, a big crowd, containing all of her friends, the main six, and Apple Bloom, Sweetie Belle, the party went for hours and hours. After 3 hours of party, Scootaloo was quite tired. She laid limp on the grass for the past 10 minutes. Fluttershy walked over to the little orange Pegasus and laid her on her mother's back, and Fluttershy trotted back to her home to let the little filly, whom was all tuckered out from the party, and thus trotted away to let her daughter sleep peacefully. The end. Wow. Yeah, that was Fluttershy's foal. Sorry again for all my word stumbles. Like I said, this was by Mr. Bratkovix. If you want to me to read any stories of yours or anything else, I will gladly do so. Like, subscribe, and go tell Mr. Bratkovix I sent you to his fic if you want to read yourself. So, thanks for listening for this week's fanfic. See everybody next week.